540, that's young to me because I'm in my motherfucking 60s. But what has happened compared to the women I grew up with, because half them hoes is dead now, you know? And these young bitches don't want to listen to no motherfucking body. You can't tell them shit, they'll argue with you. I'm telling this young lady, because most young bitches think just because they giving you some pussy because you're supposed to be dead, you on the same level as them. Nah, bitch. We don't play tennis. I don't hit the ball to you. You hit the ball back to me. And this young bitch said, fuck you, you old nigga, you know? And it started me because I never had a bitch talk to me like that before. So I was like, bitch, go to your room. Go to your motherfucking room. So I like to jog because that's what keeps me in shape. I like to jog all the time. What a play. I like to jog, you know? And when I get out of the shower, I like to moisturize because I'm at an age that if I don't put moisturizer on my body, as soon as I get out, I look 92, 93 years old. So I'm jogging through the park and I met a beautiful woman sitting on the bench. Older lady, her name is Beatrice. Beatrice, 72 years old, nigga. And I felt compelled when I sat down and talked to her. Because as soon as I sat down, I said, who's your phone provider? And she says, I rock with AT&T. I said, I rock with AT&T too. So because we hit it off so fast, she said, would you like to come by and have dinner? I said, I sure would. So let me tell you what I did. I left and took a nap. Now, a lot of young men and women think when a man
Still showing us live, right?
It's only on one Twitter account too. It's only on Coach T's.
It's showing on yours. It was just showing. It's showing on the untitled. I don't know why it's showing like that.
Is it showing up under the den as well?
Turn me up, D. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up. Turn me up.
Welcome to the Den once again. It's the late night edition. Sorry about all the technical difficulties, people. We appreciate you for staying. We appreciate you for tuning in. But you know, it's a wild week in Douglas County. Once again, we got Coach T right here.
What's up, Coach? I'm here.
How you feeling, my boy?
I feel great every day, you know, but it's a little cloud in the air. The smoke then cleared, and it's still a little.
You think the smoke done cleared?
The smoke is clearing.
Okay.
It's still a little fog in the air, but it's clearing, you know. But hey, we here all
so
day.
Mother Nature trying to help you out, going.
We here.
Blowing the smoke away.
We here.
Is it up the chimney?
We here.
I got you, my boy. I got you. We're going to get into that smoke a little bit later on, but we're going to go ahead and put a blanket on it so it don't affect Coach T's eyesight while we're doing this podcast. All right, we're going to do the rundown this week. So we had DC versus Mays. Oh, boy. That was a big one. It was a classic. DC controlled everything. DC controlled everything on land, in air, and defense. They were all over the place. They were in complete control of the game, but something else came about. Mother Nature came about. And when Mother Nature came about, they had to have a 30-minute delay. In that delay, you know what happened? Mays came out. Mays came out a different way. Final score was 49-41. 49-41. Mr. Hardaway was the game MVP. Mr. Israel Boyd was a defensive MVP. And once again, that man, Deuce, was the offensive MVP. But I cannot leave out James Johnson. He had 6 receptions for 181 yards and 1 touchdown. Coach, that boy's on fire.
Listen here, I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row of 150-plus yards, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's the quickest way to get noticed. Not saying that he wouldn't already know us before, but when you have performances like that 2 weeks in a row against 2 high-quality opponents, man, hats off to that kid. Hats off.
Man. Then we're going to go down to Chapel Hill versus South Atlanta. Chapel Hill had a little bit of a hiccup after week 1. They lost 33-9 to South Atlanta, but South Atlanta got some goons, Coach. They got some real goons. They were led by Mr. Zachariah, who shut down his side of the field. He was targeted 9 times, no completions. He had an interception. and he had 7 tackles. Good job, young man. Hats off to you. Hats off to you. I was trying to wait for the new man coaches to get back to me. I'm sorry, New Manchester kids. It's not us. Trust me, it's not us. I'm going to probably have to go over there and talk to Coach Jackson myself to make sure we got everything. But they were against Banneker. But the game that we want to talk about was what game, guys? What game do we really want to talk about?
We're here to talk about Douglas County sports as a whole, Coach.
Yes, we are.
We're not singling out one game. You know, I don't know where that's coming. We're focusing on one game, but we ain't gonna start that tonight.
Oh, what are you talking about? We're gonna talk about it. Cause is this not the deal?
No, this is definitely it. But first, before we get to the somewhat of the main event.
So you talking about the meat and potatoes? So you want another appetizer besides the salad?
I just want to give Douglas County Tigers their flowers, man. I mean, I think, the performance they put on against a top-level component in Mays that has, talent across the board on both sides of the ball, for them to put up that many points and to win in that fashion away with the weather delay and having, momentum taken from you, due to weather, they deserve all the credit. That coaching staff is doing an amazing job over there at DC, and hats off to Coach White and his staff over there. They look poised to make a deep run, Coach. I mean, the talent is undeniable, and it's showing up every night. It's one thing to have the talent on both sides of the ball, but it's another thing to come out and play at a high level of football every week and taking everybody's best shot. I mean, it doesn't get any better for them next week because they head to McEachern. So, I mean, I just wanted to put a little bit more words on them before we get to, the sauce, the spice. But hats off to Coach White and those DC Tigers over there. Hats off.
Hey, Coach Quinn got that offense going, man. Coach Quinn got that offense going. He had multiple guys who had 60-yard runs, multiple guys from the backfield touching the ball. They wide receiver core, even though they do not have a receiver over 6 feet for real. Deuce is at 6 feet. But no one's over 6 feet, and I have multiple wide receivers with touchdowns, multiple wide receivers over 60 yards receiving. Man, I believe it was 4 or 5 of them like that, Coach. I believe it was. So you're right.
I think that makes it even harder moving forward because if you have another guy such as, JJ coming up and doing what he's doing, I think that having another receiver to go alongside Deuce and the other athletes that they have does nothing but open up the offense entirely. So I know they probably game planning for Deuce because he's the marquee guy, but listen here, I mean, right now it seems like you can't scheme for one, you need to scheme for all. So it's going to open it up for everybody. I think that's just going to make them even more deadly, and especially early in the season, grooving and catching that groove within the team and the system, it's going to get ugly.
Can we give some love to that offensive line? Because it don't matter who they put back there. Their leading running back has been out with an injury. Out with an injury. You put Michael Hastings back there. You put Christopher Morgan back there. You put C.J. Carrington back there. It's still boom, 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 boom. They still moving that ball. They're still moving the ball. I don't know what else to say, but they doing a bang-up job over there, getting the ball to playmakers. But that depth,
yes.
If they can stay away from the injury bug for the rest of the year, and their depth is the way that it is, they are making all those kids happy. All those kids are eating. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't get cocky. Because in South Fulton, in that region, it's a beast, guys, called the Langston Hughes Panthers. On the other side of 20, drive about 8-9 miles, those South Paulding Spartans got something to say. With Mr. Madden Sanker, with Mr. Hayden Jackson, and Mr. Kaysen at quarterback. They got something to say too. That region there is going to be a slugfest, like the old school Rocky movies. Both of them may fall, and we're going to wait to see who can get up, Coach.
It's going to be, I mean, you got to come with it every week. I mean, it's going to be hard to, with that top, I know it takes only 4 to get to the playoffs, but that top 4 is going to be a dogfight. it's going to be a dogfight each and every night. So, I mean, it's going to take those kids preparing their butts off in the film room and translating to the field, because you got to be prepared, Coach. I mean, these kids are high-level kids. Talent is undeniable, and I think that with the amount of talent that both those teams had, Douglas County and South Paul, I mean, it's going to be a slugfest. I mean, it's going to be a slugfest. So, like I said, I definitely look forward to seeing what both teams and all the teams do, following this week 2. We got a lot of football left to play. I think week 2 didn't solidify a lot of, it solidified a lot of teams that we know that's going to be good. We've already had a top team watch list, coming into the podcast early in week 1. But I think, DC is showing that they are the top team coming in. I meine, it's no question that they're the top team right now, but there's a lot of football left to be played. So week 2 didn't define the season, but it definitely shined a light on a couple of teams and some issues that a lot need to be cleaned up. But week 2 is definitely interesting, leading to the next little topic. I mean, week 2 was a lot of smoke, Coach. It was crazy. I mean,
was it smoky?
I mean, it was on fire. I mean, it was on fire.
What was it on fire at, T?
Man, the Cougar Den, I like to say, was on fire Friday night.
Did the Cougars get smoked out at their own place? Hold on.
See, I forgot we got.
Let me change my hat for this one.
Listen,
Let me
man.
change my hat for this one.
Listen,
Oh,
man.
let's go Lions.
Hey, I'm going to let this man have all
Let's
the
go
light he
Lions.
has, because they deserve it.
Let's
They
go
deserve it.
Lions.
They deserve it. The Lions
We
came
see
in.
you, Lions.
The
Check
Lions
it
came
in.
and handled business. I mean, you're going to hear that from Coach T himself. I had a lot to say last week. I put a lot on this game, a lot on that game on Friday night. And both teams showed up. And hats off to those Lions, man. Now, everything I said, I mean, I'm still rolling with my Cougars no matter what. But hats off to them Lions. They came ready to play after a disappointing week 1. They came into week 2 in the Cougar Den and took over. Walked in the trap, took over the trap.
Hey, man. Say that again.
Walked in the trap and took over the trap.
Walked in the trap, took over the trap. That's exactly what those Lions did. I'm going to tell you something, man.
Talk about it.
Those Lions was resilient, man, because Alexander came out and punched us in the mouth early.
That we did.
A 4 or 5 play drive. Mr. Eric Singleton came out single-handedly. He had 3 catches, 89 yards early, man, and a touchdown early. They had a dual running back tandem, a 7 and 8, coming at you straight. And they were running that ball. But you know what Lithia did? They were patient. They waited their turn. And when they marched right back down the field, they were led by their leader, Jockey Hart, and Aiden Smith with a beautiful slug on, wide open, game tied 7-7, and it was back and forth, good defensive grudge match. Then the Lions just kind of took over in that second half, Coach. They really took over in that second half, man. It was some opportunities on both sides.
Okay,
There was opportunities on both sides now.
Yeah, I think it was. I think both teams left a lot on the field. I think it easily could have been blown open by both teams. Both teams showed resilience between just the way they handled the adversity. Like you said, we came out, first drive, boom, punch you in the mouth, score. I mean, not only, the leader and Jockey Hart comes right back, they battle back. So it was a back and forth game. And I think that second half, the tide kind of turned just a little bit, a couple big turnovers, a lot of missed opportunities for the Cougars with 2 missed field goals, 2 red zone opportunities that we missed out on, a big fumble. So it was a lot of opportunities there for both teams to capitalize, and both teams had a lot of, I think, sloppiness at some points.
It was.
Where both teams had some costly turnovers that could have made or break the game. But I think they both battled back. They both fought hard. It's just Lions had a little bit more at the end.
But was it sloppy, or did those defenders make some plays?
I think it was a little bit of both. I think both defenses made some plays when they needed to. But at the end, it's just about the Lions made a couple more plays more than the Cougars. Their line, that DB kind of tightened up at the end and kind of shut down some big play opportunities for us. We had a night. We ran the ball consistently. I think we did a good job by running the ball. I think it just once it got tight near the goal line or almost crossing the red zone, that defensive front tightened up. DBs tightened down, covered their half of the field. So I think, like I said, it was sloppy, but Lithy made some plays to close the game out at the end, and his hats off to those guys. And that coaching staff, Coach Jarvis had the boys ready to go. With his staff coming off, like I said, a week 1 loss, they were ready to play. You could tell that they were hungry. The game was tight early. It never got out of hand between both teams, and throughout the game. But I think Lithy handled their business, Coach.
Man, did Lithy handle their business? I want to give a special shout out to this boy called Too Nasty, Mr. Devin Green. Devin Green was skating on him. When I say skating, this had to be the play of the game. It was a wide receiver screen. In that wide receiver screen, Mr. Green hurdled a Cougar, then outran a couple of Cougars. Then at about the 5-yard line, after being at top speed, Mr. Devin Green put on the brakes.
I like to call that right analog. He hit that right step back and just kind of, it was nasty.
He hit that on him.
It was nasty.
And he walked into the end zone.
He did.
That's why they call that boy Too Nasty. Oh, Sister Sandlot, my boy. Hey, that boy, people don't give him enough credit. We talked about him a little bit in week 1, but Eric stole the show, right? Week 2, this man stole the show. No one could discredit what this young man did. That was about a 75 to 80-yard screenplay.
Yeah.
On top of the other plays that kid made. Once again, the kid was over 190 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, he was
with a touchdown.
He was definitely the man.
So we don't even have to talk. This is going to be a shortened version. We don't even have to talk about everybody else. The big cat of the week goes to Too Nasty, Mr. Devin Green. Hey, Devin, keep doing your thing.
Shout out to you, Devin. Keep doing, like Coach said, keep doing your thing, man. You're working hard, and it's showing. Just keep your head down, keep focusing every week. It's a new week coming up next week. Week 2 is over. So I look forward to seeing this kid, keep, marking his territory. That's what he's doing. I mean, he's marking his territory. So once everybody kind of gel around him, and which it showed. I mean, the offense had a lot of big play capability. And I don't think it's just Mr. Devin. I think they have a couple other playmakers there that is right there along with them, making plays and making it happen. So, I mean, it showed a lot. The offense kind of showed a lot more this week. Granted, the pressure, Jockey had a lot of time. Hats off to that line. I think they took a lot of heat from week 1.
Yes, they did.
And they came back week 2, especially being a older group. They came back week 2 and just, went to work. I mean, I kind of thought
is that called maturity?
It's definitely a testament to the maturity and the experience that they have, because a lot of teams after disappointing feat in the first week would kind of be on edge on week 2, but they came out and showed that week 1 is not what the group that they are. And hats off to those guys, man. I mean, led up by their leader, and I think they got the job done. It's not no thinking, they did. They got the job done, Coach. They did.
Man, those Cougars did well too, man.
Yeah, I think, like I said, a lot of missed opportunities kind of dampened the momentum that we could have had. But I think that comes with, more reps, comes with just focusing in on your craft a lot more. I think we kind of got a little out of sorts when a couple things didn't go our way. But I think it was a good week to learn and lesson. We don't take losses around here in Cougar Land. We learn from everything, and we will come back harder week 3. But I think it was a lot for them to focus in on week 3 of work, at practice, and get better, because we need to get better.
Did you know, Coach T, that was the first Lithia win over Alexander in the last 11 meetings? The first Lithia win in the last 11 meetings. Do y'all hear me out there? You boys did something that 11 classes wasn't able to do. 11 classes. And that's to put a flag right there behind yourself. He giving you the slow clap. Good job, Coach T.
I mean, you know, it was impressive, you know. To beat a team anyways, to beat a team in the county 11 straight years, 11 straight times, I mean, we haven't played every year, but to win 11, you know, be 11 games up on a team that's as good as Lithia, that's had talent every year, that just kind of maybe some things didn't go their way. It was just their time for things to go their way this time. So I think with, you know, a lot of, over the years, been a lot of time management, mismanagement, I guess. A lot of just missed opportunities on them on their end. I mean, even though they had those turnovers and missed opportunities this week, they was able to capitalize and still hold strong. So hats off to the Lions over there on the other side of this town. But we coming back. Y'all had it this time, but we're going to go ahead and start the streak right back over again starting next year. So, you know, it is what it is. It's up from now on. Every time you see it, it's up.
Somebody said last week, talk your T. Talk your T.
And I'm still going to talk it every week about my Cougars, man.
Man, talk about your Cougars all you want to, but it was lunch meat. We had some lunch meat. You bring the bread, we bring the mayo, and we gonna cut some Cougar up. That's exactly what happened. But on the real, guys, we have to remember that this is just a game, and we have to finish the same way we start with class. That's all the way around, and we have to listen to our coaches. We got to make sure we're doing the things the right way and make sure that we're representing the county. Things are going to happen that you can't control in the game, gentlemen. But I know a man that said your character's on trial every day. You don't know who is in the stands watching, who wanted to offer you a scholarship, who wanted to put you on their board. So make sure in the future that we're doing the right things all the way around, not singling anybody out, but we're just saying in general, making sure we're doing the right things. And hats off to those coaches for doing the right things by trying to make sure everything was okay. Hats off to you guys. We appreciate you.
I think with, you know, we all kind of, you know, it's already a couple things out there in the world about what went on Friday night, but I think it shows the heart that the kids have to have that type of fight. We just need to make sure things are handled the right way. That comes with growth. You know, you live and you learn. So from whatever happened, you know, both sides, Cougars, Lions, learn from it, grow from it, and just use it for fuel to, you know, always be better. So I think, like I said, Friday night across the board for coaches and players, I think that was a learning lesson of,
yes, indeed,
of, you know, that we're going to take and move forward from. So you can only grow from situations like that. So like I said, like Coach said, you know, remember that you're representing not only yourself and your brand, you represent the county as the whole. So, you know, whatever you put out there, you know, whatever's in the sky and on the film is what's on the film. So the bird don't lie. That's one of my favorite lines, Coach.
Bird in
the bird don't lie.
The sky don't lie.
It don't lie. You can't erase film when it's out there. You can throw it away, you cannot watch it, but it's always gonna be there. But like I said, you live and you learn from it on Friday, apply it to this week, and make sure it don't happen again and move on. And that's all you can do.
And I hope everybody learned. But moving on, we're gonna talk about week 3, sorry. We're gonna talk about week 3 and the opponents that people got. We got the Douglas County Tigers versus McEachern Indians. McEachern has a running back by the name of Jalen Brown that is lighting it up. He's hard to stop. He is hard to stop, people. This is gonna be a test for those Tigers. I just hope that they're ready. If I know that coaching staff, like we've been talking about them, Coach T, I think they will be ready. But I know who will be ready, Mr. Jalen Brown over there at McEachern. What you got to say about that, Coach?
You know, I think going at McEachern is, you know, it's going to be a hard test to Coach White and his Tiger squad. But I think coming off of week 1, dominant performance, coming off of week 2, a dominant performance with, you know, a couple of mishaps in the end there, but nothing less. They were dominant performances week 1 and 2. So to continue that trend in week 3 against a good McKeestra team in a hostile environment is again going to be a testament to Coach White and his coaching staff. And I think they're ready, Coach. I mean, I think from what they've done in week 2 that they are ready to go. And I think it's going to be a good challenge for them. I think they're going to come out victorious, Coach. I'm going to ride with the Tigers on this one.
So the Tigers go 3-0, Coach?
I think 3-0 heading into week 4, on a high horse, ready to keep it going. So, I mean, I ain't say I'm jumping on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for them, but I'm telling you right now, the Tigers are a problem.
So the Tigers are one of the best teams in the state right now?
I think they are right now. Right now, week 1 and 2, I think there's no question that you can put them up there, one of the top teams in the state. So
would you say top 10, top 5, top 3, top 2, or number 1?
I'm gonna say top 10. I'm gonna say top 10 right now because it's a lot of good. And if we're talking all classifications, we can get a little murky there.
We're talking just 6A. Let's just talk 6A.
6A, I think they're top 5. I think they're top 5. I'm definitely gonna plant them in top 5. I want to say what order, but top 10 easy. Top 5, we could talk about it all day long because there's a lot of good teams out there. But I think Douglas County has put itself in the running to be one of the top teams in the state of Georgia and to make a long run.
So you got Colquitt. Colquitt is in 6A.
Colquitt is good, but I haven't seen the body of work Coke has done so far in week 1 and 2. But from what my eyes have seen and what the stats and the dominance that they're showing, we can only talk about Douglas County.
Warner Robins, both of them, Northside and regular Warner Robins are in 6A. Lee County is in 6A.
But I do know that Douglas County is right down the road, and like I say, man, I'm rolling
right down the road.
I'm rolling with the county, man. I'm rolling with them. I think that, like I say, I think they got the makeup.
Is it the county or the county?
It's the county. DC Tigers, but they got a lot in their region. They got a lot in 6A. It's got a lot of teams that are really, really good. But like I said, I think that
you're not putting a target on their back, are you?
No,
Coach?
I mean it's there. Everybody knows what the talent that they have over there at Douglas County. That's not, that's everybody knows that. I mean the offers showed that in the summer, so they know the talent that they have in there from all classes, from freshmen, sophomores,
100
juniors,
offers in 100 days.
Whoo, that's what he said.
100 offers in 100 days.
Man, and it's showing 2-0. Dominance performance, week 1 and week 2. Keep it rolling, Tigers. Keep it rolling.
Proud of you, Tigers. Then we got those Alexander Cougars going to Sandy Creek. Listen here. Sandy Creek has some dudes on offense. Some straight dudes. They got a D1 committed corner, but I'm going to tell you, that running back Dorian Graham is legit. Dorian Graham is legit. Their quarterback is dual threat. It's going to be different than what they saw with the Lithia Springs Lions. Very different. Very different. I don't know, Coach.
I mean, it's going to be tough. But I think once again, when you get in the film room, which I know Coach Dow and his staff was in the film room today, he might have stayed up late Saturday, probably stayed up after the game Friday.
I wouldn't have been able to go to sleep. Like I wasn't able to go to sleep after week 1.
I mean, that lets you know that I think that Coach Dow and his staff is going to be ready, going to get back to work on Monday and get to it. So I think they know what's the test ahead. But, adversity. What type of team are you when adversity sets? And some adversity was there on week 2. So I think, week 1 was a cupcake, said what it was. Week 2 was a little tough match. And then coming up week 3 against a good Sandy Creek team that's proven every year to have the athletes to compete with anybody. It's gonna be a challenge for the Cougars, but it's, are they up for it? I think so. But only the time will tell come on Friday and what the work they put on the practice field this week. But I think we got the talent to do it. We got the coaching. It just got to be consistent every week, and that's all it is. It's early growing pains. We'll take it, but we're ready to go in week 3. I like my Cougars in week 3 and a bounce back against Sandy Creek.
So what you're saying is week 1 you had a cupcake. Was it sprinkles on it?
Yeah, it was sprinkles on it.
It was sprinkles.
Yeah, it was
But what kind of cupcake was it? Was it a Walmart cupcake, Publix cupcake, or was it one of them?
Listen, around my way, the best cupcakes around is Sprinkles. Shout out to Sprinkles. But hey, it was fresh with Sprinkles with the hot sign on. I mean,
Like
glazed
Krispy
up. Krispy Kreme glazed up. I mean, it was a donut, Riverwood, but you know, when no donuts come rolling in on week 2, and a certain person said in one of the podcasts in 1 week that it wasn't gonna be no donuts, and that's exactly what happened. Wasn't no donuts said on week 2.
Man, the show wasn't no donuts. Show was not. Somebody says 35-10.
I said 35-10. I did. I said 35-10. And honestly, if everything,
I gave y'all a fair chance.
what was your prediction?
I said 27-17.
And that was close. That was there. I said 35-10. I did. And looking back on it with the opportunities that were there and the missed opportunities that we didn't capitalize on.
Both teams.
But it could have been a 35-10 game.
Never been 35-10.
Because the thing about it is, it's like
never been 35-10, Coach T.
the opportunities were there. The opportunity was there. We just didn't capitalize. I think we had a dropped interception that hit the hands and fell down on the ground. Like I said, got a couple turnovers. We got the turnovers. We just didn't capitalize like we needed to. So, like I said, hats off to the Lions. Hats off. He didn't change his hat already, y'all. Changed his hat. Didn't change his hat.
I just got to make sure I look good on TV a little bit, T, when you say hats off. I just have to make sure I look good. That's all. But we're going to move on to talk about the rest of the teams. We're going to talk about Chapel Hill versus South Cobb. That should be a good one. South Cobb got that spread attack. They got a 3-4 attacking defense. It may be some holes for that wing T that Chapel Hill do. They should be all steam, all ahead with their A-backs and B-backs. I expect for Chapel to rush for more than 200 yards. I'm going to say it right here. I expect for Chapel to rush for more than 200 yards. I'm not going to say who's going to win the game, but I'm saying those backs at Chapel, they're going to have over 200 yards.
I think they should win this week. After, once again, a good performance on them on week 1, shutout. Week 2, they fought, it was a hard test against that squad. But I think against South Cobb, week 3, coming off a loss, I like Chapel Hill. I think they have a great coaching staff over there. They have a hungry coaching staff over there. They were very confident leading going into week 2. Very confident. You have to be. I mean, I don't care who you're playing. I mean, you have to be confident, and it has to go down to your players. So the coaches had a good game plan. It just, like I said, a couple things didn't go their way on week 2, but I like them in week 3 against a South Cobb team that's still trying to figure things out. I like Chapel Hill rolling there with the W.
Hey, man, I get it. Then we got New Manchester. They play North Atlanta. That should be a very interesting game. Very interesting game. I think with the defensive playmakers that New Manchester has, they should be able to come out victorious against North Atlanta. I do believe that. Then you have your Lithia Springs Lions traveling down to play Lee County, one of those top teams I talked about in 6A. It's going to be a battle for those Lions, but with the momentum that they received against the Cougars in their den, they're going to have to go down to Lee County and make some noise. And I believe this is their year to make a little bit of noise in Lee County. What you think, Coach?
That's a nice drive. Will the Lions be ready?
They will be ready. They will be prepared.
I think coming off a big win, and we're not saying it was a top matchup of the week, but it was a top matchup in the county for those two teams. And I think Lithia coming in, handling business the way they did, and then with everything that behind all the smoke, I think that they are poised.
Behind all the what, Coach?
Behind all the smoke. I mean, the smoke is still lingering. So, I mean, I think
okay, I just want to make sure you keep saying that because you was talking about that chimney. Like John Morant said.
We still ain't running for. We not ducking any smoke over here. But, like I said, y'all came in and handled business. Y'all handled business.
I just had to keep harping back on it.
I know you did. I know that was the game of the week. I know I was talking big, and I'm going to continue talking big because I believe in what we got going on over here with Coach Downs and the staff. I do. But like I said, Lithia handle business. Coach Jarvis came in as an experienced, proven coach that he is with his staff, and they came in and worked hard and got the W. So I think going into week 3 with that momentum, I like the Lions. It's going to be a very tough test. Not only the drive and the elements alone of a game like that in Lee County, but I think I like Jockey Hart. I think that week 2 allowed him to kind of get him in a rhythm with the offensive line. With the passing game, with the running game, I think they have a chance to kind of keep that momentum going in week 3.
I do agree.
Jockey a bad man. I know a lot of people on this side of town talk about, the kid in Carrollton, but Jockey Hart is a bad man, and I think the adversity that he had in the week 1, for him to bounce back in week 2, I said he had a stellar performance with touchdowns all over the board, but he controlled his team. He showed that he was the leader of that team, and he controlled the offense. I even seen him in the defensive huddles. I seen him talking on the sideline. So I think that kid is poised for another great year to follow up what he did last year.
He's definitely a leader.
So I think he's going to be good. Cause I think he's going to go out there and really have a game and go ahead and put it on from this point forward. I think he's going to have a good season.
Hey, man, and a special shout out to Alex Henry. He had a sack. Alex must have jumped about 3 yards in the air, man. He jumped about 3 yards in the air. He came down on the quarterback head, man. I thought I was watching WWE because he gave him a stone cold stunner. That's what he gave him. He came down right on that boy's head, and he went down like a sack of bricks, man.
Man, it was a lot of plays on the field on Friday night. Both teams made some excellent plays at times. From the move, first drive from Eric and that to do what he did and to coast in the touchdown, and Jockey and the throws that he made, and the move that Devin made. It's a lot of playmakers on the field on Friday. It was a lot of playmakers and a lot of plays being made. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Cheeks, number 9 for Alexander, linebacker, is a head-hunting dog. I know we talk about a special kid over there at Douglas County that's waiting to get back on the field over there, a linebacker that's arguably one of the top linebackers in the county. But
Maybe
Cheeks,
the country.
yes,
Maybe the country.
most definitely in the state. He's definitely up there. But Cheeks, as a junior, is showing that he's got to be mentioned in one of them top defensive players in the county this season. Him and Michael Hall both. I think the linebackers were flying around on Friday night. The hits. I know there was a hit that's still ringing right now from, both players were running hard, and Cheeks just full speed. He's always full speed. So I like the makeup of our defense. I like the head-hunting ability from our linebackers. Once I think we translate, and once the Cougars kind of get that back end DBs together, I think once we kind of figure that part out and everybody continue to gel and kind of trust their skills and their skill set, I think they're going to be all right. But the linebackers is definitely a strength of our squad, and I like it. But like I said, it was a lot of plays on the field on Friday night between both squads, and it's a lot of talent between both teams. So both teams look good to have poised to have a great year.
We're not going to keep you all too long tonight because we know it's late. Special shout out to Mr. Shivers down there in Villa Rica once again. Big fella, keep putting that maple syrup on them. We see you. We gonna see you in the region too. Special shout out to those Walton boys once again down there in Central Carrollton. Special shout out to a special kid at Carrollton, Juju, who was very poised after throwing an interception, stood in the face of adversity and led his team as a freshman to win over a dang good South Paulding team.
Great team.
Marched right down the field, coach. As a freshman, marched right down the field. That kid's been training with Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson. He's been training with the best, and he's just a freshman. Any last comments, Coach?
Week 3 should be a good week to kind of figure out where some teams are moving forward. I think it's a big week for a lot of teams. I know New Manchester's trying to right the ship. Chapel Hill's looking to get back on track and keep it going. Alexander's trying to get back on track. DC is trying to keep it rolling, and Lith is trying to do the same as well. So I think week 3 is shaping up to be a pivotal week for teams moving forward.
Hey, man. DC, keep shoving coals in the train. Keep shoving them coals in the train, man. Keep that momentum going. Lithium Springs Lions, keep that momentum going. Alexander, recapture what you got. Chapel Hill, pick yourself up because you got a good team, good coaching staff. And New Manchester, you got some playmakers. Douglas County's on fire. It's on fire. And if you college coaches want to see athletes, they are here in Douglas County. So I don't know what y'all waiting for to come and look at some of these kids. But we need y'all to come look at these 2023s and these 2024s because they're going to be special on the next level. I'm not saying they're all D1s. I'm not saying they're all D2s, D3s, or NAIA kids. What I'm saying is these kids can play on the next level, and we want to know what you're waiting for. But we're going to see you next week here in the Den. It should be some more smoke. It should be some more barbecue chicken laid out. And hopefully Coach West will be back with us. Coach West, I hope everything's good once again. We miss you. We love you. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Den. We out of this thing. Peace.